Mike, let's look a little bit ahead, look at some situations. We look back on what some of the highlights have been of this World Series so far. One thing I want to bring up is the pitching right now. What Charlie Manuel has done, where he went a little bit deeper into his staff using 4 pitchers, compared to what the Yankees have done with Joe Girardi using only 3. I've had people say after the Yankees took a 3-1 lead in this series, well, the Phillies were stupid. They should have pitched Lee in Game 4. And I'm like, no.
I disagree with that, yeah. I'm with you.
And to say the Yankees were smart, they have 3 good pitchers. They're using their 3, and they're very good pitchers. But that's what they have, folks. That's why they went to a 3-man rotation.
Well, yeah, but it is a tough call. The Phillies went with a 4-man, the Yankees went with a 3-man, and now you're seeing sort of the different sides of that gamble, because as we sit here, the Yankees lead the series 3-2, but they're pitching 2 guys on short rest.
Yes.
Who it seems to me like you can still, it's not that hard to see the Phillies coming out of this series and winning it based on the pitching matchups that they're looking at potentially because of the gamble that you take when you go to a 3-man rotation.
Andy Pettit's not he's not a young man anymore. He's got a lot of experience, but he's not a young man pitching on short rest. And then you come back with Sabathia, who's going to be doing it for the second time. Pedro's going to pitch full rest, okay? Should have his arsenal back. I think he's over his
Which I love. I love Pedro in this
spot. In New York again.
I mean, who knows we don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows, but I think it makes a lot of sense.
Okay, if this goes 7, Happ should probably pitch Game 7. I believe he should be 7, and then it's all hands on deck.
Yeah, it is all hands on deck, and I'm going to throw something at you that I think I think you're probably going to disagree with, but I think this is an intriguing possibility.
All right,
if necessary, depending on how things play out, use Cole Hamels as a reliever in the middle of the game for an inning or 2. He is right now a 2-pitch pitcher, which is in effect what a reliever is. I think he has had stretches, even in his worst outings, in every outing that he's had in the postseason, he's had stretches where he retired 8 guys in a row, 9, 10, 11 guys in a row. I think it might be the slap in the face for Cole Hamels that he needs. I think it's an intriguing possibility to throw him in there, again, depending on how the game goes. I'm not talking about a closer situation. I'm not talking about the 8th inning even. But in the middle of the game, if necessary, and again, it's going to be Cliff Lee, it's going to be Air, it's going to be Chan-Ho Park, it's going to be Chad Durbin, it's going to be a cast of many. But I don't think it's out of the question that if you don't start Hamels, you can't still use him.
I disagree with that. Here, 2 reasons. Okay. One, he's never done that before. He seems to be somebody of a creature of habit. He has to go in full rest.
Well, Cliff Lee's never done it before either.
No, but Cliff Lee's I'm ready to go right now. Different mentality of these 2 pitchers. It seems like Hamels won't go on short rest once it's 5 days. The bigger reason is, I believe he's quit on his team now. Mentally, he's shut down. His comments after the loss on Saturday night in Game 3 said he's looking forward to the season to be over. Tells me he's done. He's mentally had enough this year. He needs a break. I don't know what situation you put him in right now that would be beneficial.
Well, I understand what you're saying, and I can't refute what you're saying. You're not wrong, but I just think it's an intriguing possibility. I think of the stuff he said was a lot of frustration, understandable frustration talking. But anyway, that's a possibility, in my opinion.
Intriguing. One more thing I want to bring up: Chase Utley, the one he's done at the plate.
Terrific.
Okay, Reggie Jackson's supposed to be Mr. October. If he can keep this going for a few more days, we've got Mr. November on our hands. He's tied Reggie Jackson for the most home runs in baseball World Series history, and he did it 1 less game so far and 2 less at bats. Reggie had 20 at bats in 6 games. Chase has done this in 5 games, 18 at bats.
And he's done the majority of the home runs have been against a terrific left-hander.
Sure.
Which is, he's doing it against prime pitching. One of the things I think you're seeing right now, the difference between Chase Utley and Ryan Howard, is the ability to hit big-time pitching. I think Ryan Howard is a little bit more of a guy. He's a mess right now. He is messed up right now. He's a little bit more of a guy who makes a living by beating the crap out of mediocre pitching. Chase Utley can hit great pitching.